Good morning. Good to see you here at 6 o'clock on this Tuesday. I'm Tim Pham.
And I'm Channing Curtis. Thanks so much for starting off your day with us here on Up with KREM. Let's go ahead and start off all of our days, though, with a look at the forecast with meteorologist Thomas Patrick. Because, Thomas, yesterday afternoon, the grapple. We talked about it before the show. Oh, my gosh.
Like, what's happening?
Exactly. What's falling from the sky?
Yeah, and if you called it hail, you weren't far off. Grapple is also known as soft hail. I usually like to call it more like snow pellets because it is a little bit more like snow. It falls like snow, but it is in the hail family. But yeah, we had the grapple yesterday, but that behind us, and we got to focus in on our next round of snow. And this time it will just be more of a traditional snowfall tonight. Winter weather advisories go into effect starting at 7 p.m. for Spokane, Coeur d'Alene, all of eastern Washington, and North Idaho, with winter storm warnings at the higher elevations, up to 3 inches of snow by tomorrow morning. But again, it doesn't begin until tonight. So the daytime hours dry today with just increasing clouds, but high temperatures only in the mid-30s. Any leftover snow that we're seeing now, not quite the main event just yet. That's this storm system that is inbound. So again, snow likely by tonight.
Well, the mountain passes have a few inches of snow and more is expected over the next several days. But before that, ski areas could see some rain.
Angelique Hockaday from our Seattle station is at Snoqualmie Pass with an update on conditions there.
Hey, good morning. The name of the game if you're heading out to Snoqualmie Pass this morning is really just taking it slow. As we're coming from Seattle, at least, approaching the pass about 10 to 15 minutes away is when we really started to see a lot of that compacting snow on I-90, making the drive down to about 50 miles per hour. You're going to see a lot of plows. You're going to see a few salt trucks. We also saw a lot of those trucks on the side getting their chains on. So that's really the conditions this morning. If you take a look behind me here, we're just at the area exit 54 where the plows come in and out of. That bridge that you're looking at with that semi going over it, that's I-90 right there. Listen, there was about 7 inches of snow in the last 24 hours, but we are expecting to have another 5 to 10 inches starting around 4 this afternoon. But as those temperatures increase overnight and into tomorrow, we're going to see a little bit more rain on the pass, and that can create some risk for avalanche. That's something to keep in mind. It's good news for skiers today. Today is going to be the day if you want to get out and ski. It's also good news for the snowpack, where we are down about 50 to 60% for the summer rain totals that we can expect in the reservoirs. That's definitely some good news. But again, for drivers, take it slow and leave plenty of room between you and those plows. For now, reporting here at Snoqualmie Pass, Angelique Hockaday, KREM 2 News.
This morning, another person entering the race to fill Kathy McMorris-Rodgers' seat in Congress. Spokane County Treasurer Michael Baumgartner is the newest candidate for Washington's 5th congressional district. Baumgartner is currently serving his second term as Spokane County Treasurer, having first won election to that position in 2018. He joins a crowded race with Republicans including Jonathan Bingle, Jacqueline Maycomer, and Democrats Bernadine Bank, Carmela Conroy, and Anne Marie Danamis.
A new bill to help people rebuilding their homes after the Gray and Oregon Road fires is now making its way through the Washington state legislature. KREM 2's Nicole Hernandez joining us live right now with more on what homeowners need to know this morning. Good morning, Nicole.
Hey, good morning, Channing. So the biggest thing for anybody who is rebuilding their home after the Oregon Road or Gray Road fire is you have to have your rebuilding permits in by March 15th. If you don't have those permits in by that day, this bill will not be able to help you. So originally, lawmakers tried to pass a bill that would allow people rebuilding their home after these fires to not meet 2024 Washington state energy codes. But instead, this new substitute bill will help people rebuilding pay for the upgrades to meet these new energy codes. Some homeowners would need to put an extra $30,000 into their rebuild to meet the new code. This new bill would then give grants to help with those extra costs, and they'd start by going to low-income households first. John Altide is rebuilding his home after the fires, and he's excited about these potential grants.
We're all community. We all want to come back, and you know, those who are grossly underinsured, yes, take care of them because they got to get back. Whatever it takes for you to get back in the house and back to, as you said, back to normal.
So on top of the grants, the bill also gives people some of a break from those new energy codes. This new bill, though, passed through the House yesterday and is now in the Senate. The bill has to make its way out of the Senate and back to the House by this Friday, and then the Washington State legislative session ends on March 7th. In Spokane, Nicole Hernandez, KREM 2 News.
A major roadblock for a proposed merger between Kroger and Albertsons. The Federal Trade Commission now suing to block the deal.
So in our region, Kroger owns Fred Meyer and QFC on the west side of the state, while Albertson owns Safeway. The FTC says the nearly $25 billion merger would eliminate competition and lead to even higher prices for millions of Americans. The companies argue a merger would help them better compete with Walmart, Amazon, Costco, and other rivals.
A merger like this could also slow the growth of employees' wages or even reduce some of those wages. Working conditions and employee benefits could suffer as well.
We need to really think about what these prices and this kind of greed is doing for all of society.
Washington Attorney General Bob Ferguson filed a separate suit against the merger last month.
The move to limit rent increases in Washington state appears dead. Democratic State Senator June Robinson, chair of the Senate Budget Writing Committee, says that there are not enough votes to move the bill out of committee. The bill would have limited rent increases to 7% every 12 months. Critics say it would scare developers out of the state. Senator Robinson says not enough Senate Democrats were willing to support it, and 0 Republicans would have voted for the cap.
We just got new information from a new report calling for dozens of changes to improve the safety culture at Boeing. It was ordered before the door plug blowout, but mentions the incident. Congress ordered the analysis after deadly crashes in Indonesia and Ethiopia on board 737 MAX planes. Our team went through that report, and to sum up the findings, experts describe a disconnect between senior management and employees. They say frontline workers are unsure about procedures or worried about speaking up without retaliation.
This really was not a surprise for me because I expected even before the latest incident that there had been a substantial slippage in terms of the way Boeing used to be, which was an engineering company of great quality that made money, to one that made money by engineering.
The report recommends Boeing standardize safety training and procedures, create an independent investigation process for concerns, and in 6 months form an action plan on the problems they raise. Boeing says it supports the panel's review and will learn from its findings, and that it has already taken steps to foster a safety culture that encourages all workers to share their concerns.
And another check of our weather forecast, which is pretty cold for this morning. You're definitely going to need the hat on the way out the door, as our temperatures are in the mid-20s. So quite a bit colder than it was these last couple mornings, even down to 18 degrees in Colville to mark the cold spot for the inland northwest this morning. That plus it's still a little breezy, a bit of a southwesterly wind at around 10 to 15 miles per hour, still putting a bit of a wind chill factor into the air. So if you're outside for more than a minute or two, you'll start to feel pretty cold. Now, our snowfall will begin tonight, but you'll see that it doesn't stay as snowfall on Wednesday because the high temperature gets up to 46 degrees. So we'll go from snow to rain, but strong winds will also be present. So a bit of a weather trifecta. And we'll break down in more detail just when to expect the heaviest snow, heaviest rain, and heaviest winds in these next 48 hours.
It's something you probably did last holiday season, bought a gift card for a loved one. Typically, you don't pay taxes on that purchase, but as one viewer found out, that isn't always the case.
But they said it was a gift card, so that's what I assumed it was. When I got along to buy it, I noticed the sales tax on it.
Join us tonight for KREM 2 News at 6 p.m. as we verify whether gift cards are taxed at the time of purchase or when they are used.